Alright, hey there, how's it going? PanManTactLuci510 here, and today we're gonna do something a little different. Yeah, we're gonna do something different. We're not gonna play on Xbox today. Today we're gonna start a new segment, and this is gonna be a one-time segment. We're gonna call it Storytime with PanManTactLuci510. Yay! You know, Cheetos little kids cheering and whatnot. For today's story, we're going to read a story. We're going to read a visual novel. And let me find it here. It is called Narcissu2. There's a video here. I don't know what this is, but let's watch it. Yeah. I think this is just a let's just watch it. This is a beautiful song. Sorry, I shut up. Side second, we're side first. Oh shit, we get to drive cars in this. I hope. Guys, don't judge me, but I think I'm gonna start crying. That was so beautiful. I gotta be a man. Somebody hold me. Alright, so without further ado, let's start on this story time with PanManTactLuci510. This is on this story that I just discovered not 20 minutes ago. It's right here on Steam, ready to play. You know, hopefully this is in full screen, but yeah. Oh, it's first and second. Okay, so we get the best of both worlds and the full tour. So I see here it's ready to play, so let's play. What is this? This isn't even full screen. Here, we'll just full screen it like this. Access the Steam community while playing. You know what? Let's do this, since I can. Well, wait, before we actually do that, let's see if I can. I don't think any of these are options. This is options. Sound mode. Side second sound mode. There's a sound. Where is. Okay, let's see notes. Thank you for playing Stage Nana Volume 25 Narcissu 2. The complete Narcissu one is included too, complete with its notes. It will be accessible once it's been played through. Also, the grand finale is available from the main screen after finishing both Narcissu 1 and 2. Once any translator's version will do. What? The concept, the content too, regarding religion. What does religion have to do with a game like this? Or story? Acknowledgements, translator's notes, English website, Japanese website, and no options. Okay, so since I can't full screen this, we're just gonna do this. See, I have my damn taskbar. Right. Now that we got that out of the way, this pesky ass thing, let's start. Alright, now, which one this is? This one's no name, this one's side second. We'll go with this one. Alright, Nihongo GP32 Agilis. Okay, I know that one's Japanese, but what's the difference between these two? Does it really matter? We'll go with this one. Select voicing. For the sake of story time with PanManTactLuci510, we'll do voiced, even though I'm going to read everything. On a blindly bright day, on that very day of winter. 2001, 3,042 people. 2002, 32,143 people. 2003, I wasn't done reading that. Spring 1996. That's soon. True, I wasn't very healthy ever since I was a child. Even so, I attended elementary school like all the others, and during the summer breaks I haven't played until I was utterly tanned. June, shortly after my entry into middle school. The day after I ordered a swimming suit for use the next month. My first hospitalization. Where are we going with this? On a day just before the first semester midterms, on a day where the first drops of rain were so cruelly cold. Oh, we're getting poetic here. Falling from that mist, the pure white of the overcast sky. If she's describing snow, why does it sound like rain? Of course, the first time it happened, all of my classmates came to visit me almost every day. And when I was released, they even came to my house on weekends to play. Man, I wish I had friends like that. But that was only the first time around. Autumn went into winter, winter went into spring. A vicious cycle. Hospitalization, release, clinics, and hospitalizations again. And before I knew it, even the classmates that I once called friends turned into acquaintances. I think this person is describing my life. And then into strangers. Now she's really describing my life up to this point. As if with every changing of seasons, I was being erased from their collective memories. It seems that to all those normal people, my very existence was an unpleasant fact. I love you. And so, it looks like I've been erased. You're not the only one. Count me in on that one. I'd spent so many seasons, so many white overcast skies, without the want or need to converse with anybody. For that matter, my English textbook never changed from that of a first-year middle school student before my first midterms. Is this my twin here? Seriously. Okay, oh shit, what'd I do? Okay, don't mess with her. That is where my time seems to come to an end. Early summer 2004, protagonist. 8 years later, early summer 2004, protagonist. Summer, flowing sweat. The gigantic electronic scoreboard in the driver's license examination facility lit up all at once. My eyes and everyone else looked for our respective numbers. I seriously hope this isn't overlapping anything, my voice or anything. Alright, 237, 237. The numbers, Mason, what do they mean? And some of those 8 columns of lit text. Sure enough, my examination number was shining in the mist. Clickety-clack. A nearly empty train car, perhaps thanks to the beautiful afternoon. Almost alone in that train car, and I was heading back home from the examination hall. And just to sidetrack a little bit, your Xbox Live Gold membership will expire on 8/1/2014. Do you want to set your membership to automatically renew? Fuck no, I don't. Okay. My left hand held a new traffic regulations handbook, and my breast pocket held my brand new driver's license. This person's already cooler than me. So now I got a license as well. I muttered somewhat happily, but there were no strong feelings behind it. I never particularly wanted to drive a car. I never particularly had any motive for it. It was just that my colleagues and the Technical Institute both recommended that I at least get a driver's license. God damn it! You want me to join a party, you pick a bad time to invite me. That night, when I told my parents that I had gotten my license, they merely replied with an I see. And when I asked if I could borrow the car just for a test run, they instantly and curtly said just one thing. Fuck you, you're gonna wreck our car. No. Close enough. While I didn't really want to drive the car or anything, the response was all too expected. Those were my parents for you. The next day, I awoke with chest pain and went to the hospital. Sickness and I generally had nothing to do with each other, which is why I found the ER waiting room to be utterly boring. And just when I thought they were through examining me, they ordered an X-ray, and some blood tests, then they left. And again, I was left waiting for a long, long time. I'd already polished off 3 volumes of Shonen Jump and was just about to start on a 4th when... I remember when I was in elementary school and I read Shonen Jump. I used to order those things. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked again. They admitted me to the hospital right then and there. Uh-oh. And it seems that my new license, which still lay snugly in my breast pocket, would have to wait a long time for its turn to come. Protagonist, autumn 2004. Jesus. Right around when they all too noisy cicadas had finally gone silent. Oh shit. I once again found myself in the hospital, as per usual. Of course, it wasn't as if I'd been there the entire time. I came and went, a futile cycle. My first surgery was a month before. After that, I started doing the 5-minute commute to and from the hospital by moped. And from then on, I was hospitalized, discharged, ordered to clinic, and hospitalized again and again and again. While I still had no clue what PET or ERESA stood for in no time at all, several months had already passed. As my appetite decreased, my medications increased. I could feel my own physical strength atrophying away. I kept imagining that my legs were getting thinner, but the needle of the weight scale rudely informed me, it's not just your imagination. And yet I kept looking on at myself with detached interest, as if it were happening to somebody else entirely, as if I were looking at a scene on TV or the like. The mind could not grasp what had so suddenly happened to my body. Nothing within me was telling me that this was real at all. And this is why, even though it was all happening to me, I kept looking on as if it were happening to someone far away. I hope I didn't skip anything, because I just double tapped this enter key. Protagonist, winter 2004, a day of winter, around when the Christmas trees had vanished from the streets. I was discharged home as a kind of year's end treat. It seemed like an exercise in total transience, and still it made me slightly happy. I traveled back to a home I had not seen in a long time in the midst of a freezing rain. Strangely enough, my entire family was there. My parents, who had never so much as talked to me, came out to meet me, if with terribly stilted smiles. And my little sister, with whom I'd never had a pleasant word, had made my favorite cream stew and fried shrimp just for me. They made me sit at the table. They peeled tangerines for me. They were cruelly kind. It was an impressive display. At this point, a little thought occurred to me about my new driver's license, which was still stuffed away in my pocket. That perhaps things would end for the license without it ever having known any use. And surrounded by a trio of stilted, strange smiles, I kept that thought as if it were someone else's business, with dispassion, ambiguity, and total disinterest. I'm fucking stuttering here. January 2005. Protagonist, January 2005. A new year began, and I returned to the hospital. But on this day, instead of my usual 4F room, I ended up in a conference room of sorts. They took me there. And then my father and the doctors had a little talk. I joined in. Well, they talked to me. And so this was their so-called announcement. They said it in a terribly roundabout fashion, but they told me that I was going to die. I see. That was my only reply. I had no other words. It was the only thing that left my mouth from beginning to end. I wouldn't blame you. And the doctor's ballpoint pens flew across paper as if in response to my words. Those were probably hospitalized enrollment procedures, businesslike to the last. My father was the same. And so it's this simple. Was the only real thought I had. That day, I transferred from 4F to 7F, from a 6-person room to a private room. It was a little different from the other wards, this 7F. First of all, the floors were sparkling clean, and second of all, the ceiling was higher than I'd ever seen it. The rooms were very nice, and it had large windows from the warm daylight streamed in as if by design. But the windows only opened a little. I tested them out, and my head would just barely fit out of one. The color of my ID bracelet had changed as well. The bracelet that I had worn ever since the first hospitalization, the one that had my name and blood type recorded on it, its color had now changed from blue to white. A high ceiling, a white vinyl bracelet, a window that would not open for more than 15 centimeters. The TV programs celebrating the new year were playing when I was transferred to this 7F. And it was at the dawn of the very year that I met her for the first time. Wait a second. am I in the point of view of a guy or a girl? I'm confused. Let's continue. Wait a second, was that the prologue already?
7回
Winter 2005, 7F. There was this place, kind of like a lounge at one side of the corridor, across from the nurse's station. This generally deserted place held a view of couches and chairs, as well as a large TV. Stupid program commemorating the New Year were still being broadcast on that 28-inch screen. And there was a girl who looked absolutely bored watching that absolutely boring TV. Short and pink pajamas, a white bracelet on her wrist, just like mine. Impressively long hair that almost reached down to her hips. Hey, do you find that interesting? There was no deep purpose in the asking. Simply, I had nothing else to do, so I started talking to her. Not really, was her only reply to me. She didn't turn to face me at all. And she kept looking on with boredom at that TV as if I didn't even exist. And then don't watch it. Even as I thought this, I sat down in a chair next to her. Side by side, we watched TV. Nothing else to do, nothing we could do. And so we sat there silently and watched TV. New Year's celebration programs, as per usual, a useless array of comedians and oddities. And every so often, the MC's stupid, shrill laughter resounding dryly in this white sun-drenched lounge. Just want to strangle him to death. Hey, tell me. The girl suddenly started talking to me, but her eyes were always glued to the TV screen. How many times is it for you now? What do you mean by that? How many times have you come here to 7F? Sorry, I have no clue what you're talking about. I see. So it's your first time then? So she'd seen my confusion about her question and come to the right conclusion. Then, since there's no one else around, and since it's my duty? Call of Duty? There's this rule. Nodding slightly, she explained that the rule was that someone here, 7F, should tell newcomers the truth. I knew nothing. I understood even less. And as if I did not even exist, she slowly started her speech. Then listen closely. Because what I'm going to tell you is the truth. You are the one, Neo. Her words, spoken methodically, one by one, were a little different from all the ones I heard from the doctors about this place. And their business-like crisp syntaxes, they told me this is a place where one awaits for medical advances. This is a place where one heals one heart. And perhaps they might have been correct in a general sense. But according to that girl, this was just the party line. The truth was that this 7F was the only place in the hospital where medical treatments did not take place. This was just a place where you waited for your life to come to an end. Those were her words to me. I thought so as well. I felt it even before she'd spoken. See? This is my second time. Second time doing what? Coming here. And then she explained to me that nobody on 7F stayed here from initial hospitalizations all the way until death. While there are zero possibilities of being cured, you were sent home as if your condition was stable. But if it worsened again, you would return here. That cycle ended only in death. Whether it was at home or here on 7F, always one of the two, you were going to die. No way to escape it, it seemed. And with that meaning permeating her every word, she informed me that this was her second time up here. I'm only gonna say this once, so you better listen up. So listen closely now. I was close. She continued speaking, all the while staring at that blank TV screen. Look me in the eyes, please. Please? This wasn't idle chit-chat about when lights out was or where the kitchen was or anything like that, because I knew where everything was. This was something completely different. Oh shit. The third time you are discharged home, resign yourself. There won't be a fourth time. You will never go home again. If you ever want to escape, head towards the B station, not the A station. Eat nothing. That is the simplest shortcut. You leave the smallest burden on your family that way. I do that now. It was as if she was packed to the brim with matters like those. This was probably an oral tradition, relevant only to those who were going to die, and kept by those who came here for that purpose. So this is the duty you were talking about. Yes, that's right. So do remember to perform it for a newcomer yourself someday, okay? With those words, she slowly stood up. She casually tossed her long hair, and it grazed my nose, and I felt like I was gonna sneeze. I have to go get my temperature measured, so... Then she turned her back and started walking down the corridor, and that was the last time I ever saw her again. Now completely deserted save for me, the lounge held only by the laughter from the TV and the white flowers by the windowsill. In the end, she didn't even look at me once. Cause she had eyes in the back of her head and knew I was robbed. Protagonist. Damn it. A few days later, New Year's celebrations was over, and the middle and high school students were beginning a new term. And just as ever, she and I sat in this lounge, staring blankly at the TV. This is boring. So it is. So we said, but both of our eyes kept our eyes on the screen. What? But both of us kept our eyes on the screen. Sorry. Hey, is this place always this way? I don't understand what you're getting at. I'm getting at how it's always deserted. Other than the nurses, doctors, and help staffs, and other than her, I'd not seen a single person. Did everybody go home for the New Year or something? Do you really want to know? Yeah, I do. Better tell me. Well, I didn't mean... Then I won't tell you. We would disinherently toss back and forth in this exchange that could not even be called a conversation. Damn it! Sorry. The slight breeze coming from the window that would not open more than 15 centimeters. From time to time, her hair would sway, as if in agreement the flowers at the window still would too. This was how we killed time day after day, staring at the boring, good-for-nothing TV, because everybody else died. I think. Click, click, click. Oh, here the two of you are. An elderly nurse said as she rushed towards us. From what I'd seen of the nurses' stations, she was apparently the charge nurse of 7F. Well, Miss Setsumi, any fever?
大丈夫。出てない。
I'm fine. No fever. Setsumi. So, that was her name. You really shouldn't be moving around like this. I'm a rebel. I do what I want. Do you understand? Everyone's worried about you.
別にいいよ。
Well, whatever. Oh, damn. Come now. What kind of answer is that? Oh, children these days. The nurse continued to scold and handpick for some while longer. And the girl named Setsumi, just pretended not to notice it at all. She simply stared straight forward at that boring TV, paying that fussy nurse as little heed as she could. Sounds like me at school. I'll be coming later to draw some blood, okay? With those words, the charge nurse went back to the nurses' stations. Hey, well, mind if I call you Setsumi? I asked this as I stared at her white vinyl ID bracelet and at the blood type and the name written therein. Is something the matter, Setsumi?
どうして呼び捨てなの？
Why are you calling me that? You don't even know me. Oh,
年下のくせに。
you're younger than me. Hey, why am I younger than you?
別に。
Nothing. That's just what I thought is all. It wasn't that I was offended that she called me younger than her. It was just that no matter how I looked at it, I thought I was 5-6 years older than she was. That's why I took out my driver's license from my breast pocket and handed it directly to her. Alright, now that I hopefully will have no more damn interruptions, I can continue now with Storytime with PanManTactLuci510. Alright, so this is approximately where we left off. If it isn't, please forgive me. So I went beforehand, so we don't miss out on the story. And by the way, this will be part 1.5 out of, I don't even know how long this story is or how long this thing is, so we're just gonna say part 1.5 out of question mark. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's continue. It was just that no matter how I looked at it, I thought she was 5 or 6 years older. I thought I was 5 or 6 years older than she was. That's why I took out my driver's license from my breast pocket and handed it directly to her. See, I may not seem like it, but I'm 20. So you're younger after all. She only took a glance at my license before handing it back to me. I don't really get what you're saying. It doesn't really matter. I'm just a little older than you are, that's all. And don't you forget it. She murmured, as expressionlessly as ever. Her eyes were fixed on that boring TV, alright, but it felt as if she was gazing at something far away. After they'd taken my vital signs, I snuck past the nurses and boarded the elevator. When I got to IF, I walked out the outpatient clinic doors and walked outside the hospital. Tonight there's gonna be a jailbreak. I'm fucking her too. Let's continue. The goal was the place I'd been told not long ago. The faraway B station, not the nearby A station. Who likes A? We don't like B's. It wasn't that I wanted to escape or anything. At least that's what they thought. At 7F or at home, none of us died anywhere else. That's what I've been told. And this B station, which this girl named Setsumi had apparently been to many times. That's why at least just once I wanted to see this place with my own eyes. It's not as if there's going to be a guard on duty. guard on duty. Even though we were inhabitants of 7F, different from other inpatients. Yeah, because we're inpatient while the others are patient. Oh, sorry about that. Anyway, and thinking of vague maybes, so early in the morning, I headed towards that station. My legs settled into a lazy gait as I glanced outside along the people commuting to work or school. After about 25 minutes of this, I arrived in front of the station, roughly 4 bus stops away when I calculated it out. Wow, there are a lot of people here, was my first impression of the B station. I stood out a bit because I was in pajamas, but I felt as that if I could just buy a subway ticket, I'd be able to go anywhere, no question about it. We're going to go find the leprechaun at the end of the rainbow. I still had no idea why I'd been told to go to the B station and not the A station. Cause there's so many likes of B's, she doesn't like A's. Come on, think. But it looked as if it would be easy to escape if I really wanted to. She must have come here many times herself. So why does she remain on 7F right now? The station in the early morning. I stood there, thinking of these thoughts as I watched the people rapidly passing me by. That night, after lights out, bored of manga and unable to sleep, I wandered through the hospital alone. Certainly it wasn't supposed to be allowed after lights out, but we of 7F had a particular kind of liberty and justice for all. And so, in the presence of no light, in the pitch black stillness of the lounge, that was where I found her. Hey, have you been looking outside today? Yeah. The darkened interior. She did answer me, but she continued to stare out the window as if she had not. I immediately launched into what had happened today. Oh, by the way, I went out to the station today, cause I'm a rebel, just like you. The B station, just as you taught me.
So,
I see. But her response did not change. I thought she'd react with something because she'd been there before too. But now that I thought about it, did the fact that she was here mean that she had no intention of escaping in the first place?
私、もうすぐ帰れるの。
I'm gonna be going home soon. What? She opened her mouth abruptly and spoke as if she'd seen right through me.
でも、次で3回目だから、
But next time will be the third time.
もう会えないかもね。
So we may not see each other again. Yeah, I guess. Probably. What she was talking about was a temporary discharge from the hospital. She told me that nobody was discharged from 7F more than 3 times. Unlike the elderly, given the progress of our diseases, this meant all the more to young people like us. Her, we may not see each other again, was filled with that kind of meaning.
ねえ、あなたはどちらを選ぶの？
Oh, which one have you decided on? Decided on?
どっちで死ぬつもりってこと？
Where you're gonna die. When that word death came up so abruptly, I was at a total loss for words. I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet.
そう、
I see.
まだ1回目だもんね。
I see. It's just your first time after all. What? You can die more than once? I didn't know that. We should try it sometime. She murmured, looking desolate. Certainly, it was as if I was going to exist here forever. Just like everyone else, I would be admitted and discharged, slowly grow weak, and someday I would have to choose in the end, here on 7F or at home surrounded by those fake smiles.
私は家は嫌。
I don't want to die at home.
だけどここも嫌。
But I don't want to die here either. I want to die in your arms. Forever. Then what will you do? Oh, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said.
別に
I guess
どうもしない。
the only thing
自力で歩けるうちに
is to go somewhere
どこかに行くだけ。
while I still have the strength to. Somewhere? You can't be. This girl who was staying around 7F when she could have escaped anytime she wanted. When I thought of that, do you have any other place to go?
あなた
Do you
私を引き止め
want
たい
to
の。
stop me? What?
それとも一緒についてきたいの。
Or do you wanna come with me and go somewhere that only we know? Well, no, that wasn't what I was thinking about.
じゃあ聞かないで。
Then don't ask. She was staring out the window as she spoke, dispassionate, not looking at me the same as ever. But then, and just then, her usual expressionless face looked so very sad to me. I was a newcomer to 7F, just recently taught that the third discharge was the last. And she was a girl who soon was to be discharged for the second time. I still did not feel anything real about what was happening to me. But would I too come to wear such a face someday? Widescreen. The rain at morning twilight. Sometimes sleet, sometimes snow, always coming down. And I was sitting there watching TV in my usual place. 7F felt as devoid of people as it always had.
面白い。
Anything interesting? No, completely boring. She walked to my side. Saying no more, she sat down next to the chair next to me. And that's how we began watching TV on this very day as well. And that's how my heart started beating. She was probably in the same boat as me. Nothing else to do, nothing we could do. Oh. I had never seen her respond to the TV before. Is something the matter?
別に
Not really. Those were her usual words, but her response was anything but usual. And I looked at the screen, interested in anything that could move her so. There were nature scenes being displayed on TV. Beautiful hills and dales burgeoning with trees and flowers. And a vast spread of white flowers in the mist. Gorillas in the mist. I remember those flowers from somewhere. They looked very similar to the white flowers that decorated the windowsills. Could those be the same flowers? You know, the same as those over there. You know, over there where I'm pointing. I pointed to the flowers by the windows as I said this.
違う。
No. Huh? Really?
種類は同じだけど、厳密に言えば違う。
They're of the same variety, but they're not strictly the same. She glanced at the flowers by the windows for a second and then went back to gazing at the TV. She told me that they were different, but I couldn't see the distinction between the two. And it meant nothing to me whether flowers were the same or different. But what did mean something was this girl who usually never said a word more than she needed to. She was conversing in rare form today, which is why I decided to follow along. Do you happen to know a lot about them? Flowers, that is.
別に。
Not really. Really? But I don't see the difference. The flowers on the screen and the flowers in the vase to her side. I continued to talk as I stared vacantly at the two. Look, look. Are these orchids or lilies? See? They're pure white, right? I had no interest, yet I kept trying to make conversation. But she resumed her silence soon enough. And with her usual lack of expression, she continued staring at the boring TV screen. And just when I turned back to the TV, resigned to the fact that I get nothing more out of her.
Narcissus.
Narcissus. What?
Narcissus よ。
Those are Narcissus. Wait, is that the name of the game? Have I been pronouncing it wrong? Narcissus. And she'd answered, and we finally got to see her face. She turned to face me for the first time. Her hip-length hair swaying, she pointed at the TV screen and looked at me. The ID bracelet on her wrist was white. Her skin was white, just like the flowers on screen. And I swore I could see a tiny smile on that face that was looking at me for the first time. This is so beautiful. So wait, I get to pick the chapters now? Oh boy! I'm guessing we're at chapter 2. January 6, 2005, 7F. A few days later, plunging further into the depths of winter. Hold on. Before we actually continue, let's save. Better yet, I'll just end it here because I have to stitch these two, so this will be part 2, which will be probably tomorrow or whenever I can get this uploaded. So bye bye.